Hey guys, Adam here, and welcome to another On the Couch Rewind. So I finally watched The Purge. This had possibilities. This really did. This was an idea so stupid that it would have been ripe with satire. But I just wow. Just fucking wow. This movie was bad. This movie was pretty bad. Let me start off by saying this. I was gonna go see it last year, but it was a friend's birthday. It was my friend's birthday, and he got to pick the movie, and he doesn't like scary movies. So we went to go see The Internship instead with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. This is still better than The Internship. This is still better than Planes, which I watched last week. Oh god. It'll still probably be better than Planes 2, which I gotta watch after the sequel. After the Purge sequel. I hope the sequel's better than this. This was a huge disappointment. I mean, like, I heard it wasn't as good as the trailers let on. I did. I knew going in that there were some people saying, "Oh, it's not that good." This idea was never taken advantage of. It's just a typical home invasion movie, and they're right. It really, really, really is, which is disappointing. Again, this movie would have been ripe with satire of today's America. It really is that disappointing. The plot is once a year, or in the future, like 2022, America has new leadership in the form of, I want to say, companies, like big corporations. Satire 1, called the New Founding Fathers, and crime has gone down to 0%. Unemployment has gone down to, I think, 1%, if I'm correct. And here's why. Once a year, they hold an annual event once a year called the Purge. And of course, all of you guys should know this by now. And for 12 hours, from dusk till dawn, all crime is legal, including murder. All crime is legal. You cannot call the police, you cannot call an ambulance, you can't call firefighters or anybody. It's pure, unadulterated chaos in this during these 12 hours. Just pure chaos. And you know what? It would have been really, really interesting to see all this be taken advantage of. It goes from what could have been good satire on big corporations, on how we view the homeless, and I will try to avoid putting my own political beliefs in there. How we view society. All of this would have been perfect had it, one, been a much more interesting story, and not what we were given. And two, had I just given a flying fuck about this movie. Oh yeah, and three, if it wasn't already done before by Star Trek. That's right. The the 12 hours of all crime is legal idea, Star Trek did first in the Return of the Archon, if I'm saying that title correctly. I could be. Put it on the comments below if I'm wrong. Star Trek did it first, but I guess because it's been like 50 years, they were people like a lot, and this was targeted towards young people. There was no way anyone was gonna know this. No way. I didn't realize it until I looked it up later. I had seen that episode. I had. And they took advantage of what they were trying to do in an hour show than this movie did in 85 minutes. This movie is not very good. It did piss me off. I'm just like, this could have been better. This really could have. Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey are a very upper middle class family with 2 children. One I feel like is a whore. I'm sorry, but yeah, she has a boyfriend, but I don't know. Some tells me she's been in a couple of gangbangs. And their son is a soon-to-be serial killer. I swear to God, this kid was really creepy. He really, really was. And his Crispin Glover haircut was not helping any. And so during the Purge, they just try and do things peaceful. They just try to live out the night in peace, not worrying about the world until a homeless man is running and their son lets him in. Turns out a group of white people, and the homeless man is black, a group of rich white people, young white people, were hunting him down so they could purge. Yeah. And throughout the rest of the movie, they're trying to find the homeless guy, and it just gets really, really boring, and the kids are stupid. I'm not gonna say Lena Headey or Ethan Hawke are stupid because they're not. They realize what they're doing. The kids are idiots. The kids are fucking idiots. That's what they are in this movie. You don't give a shit about the kids. You give a shit about Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey. That's about it. The biggest problem I have with this movie is how so fucking predictable it is. You knew every step of the way what was gonna happen. Who was going like the daughter's boyfriend sneaks back into the house. He wanted to talk to Ethan Hawke about dating his daughter. You know before it happens that he's just there. He's just gonna try and kill the dad, so he can be with his girlfriend. You know that the neighbors that they talk to is going to try and kill them later on. They're not the white couple group, or they're not the young group. But they come in later, saving their lives, and then going, okay, we're going to kill you. You know that the black guy was going to come back in the end and save the family. What I didn't know is that he was going to survive, but he goes in and saves the family for whatever fucking reason, even though they were willing to throw him out of the house. You know all this shit. You know everything they've set up in this movie. You know they're gonna bring back. You know it's so fucking predictable. It really is. And it's really infuriating how predictable this movie is. Ethan Hawke was a badass in this movie, even though he dies, or I believe it seems he dies. Although Lena Headey gets pretty badass towards the end, where the neighbors are about to kill them, and then the homeless guy comes in, shoots a couple of people, and then she says, we are going to spend the rest of this purge in peace. And then the last 3 minutes of the movie is them sitting there trying to bring in human elements into this movie when out of nowhere. That is how it was forced. This was a forced human moment for all the people where they're just sitting there peacefully. It's like, so how was your purge party? Fuck you. What? It was nice. Which was actually, that was kind of funny, but at the same time, you're just like, you don't give a shit at this point. Because for most of the movie, there were no human elements. There was just, we gotta survive the night. That's it. That is it. And then it ends. And then the credits end with all these basically saying this was the most successful purge ever. Blah, blah, blah. And then the ending credits play this song. What was it? Is E is an Aussie or E is Lizzie? It's like like kind of like old 1920 music kind of thing, where you just kind of like going like this. And the thing is, that wasn't in the movie. That was there for the credits. And my dad heard it, and of course I was thinking the same thing. Why wasn't that in the movie? Why wasn't that? Would have been perfect for when the group breaks in and starts hunting them down. That would have been perfect. Because if I was a murderer, which I'm not, if I was a murderer, I wouldn't be thinking death metal or thrash metal or whatever going through my head. I'd be like, I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, I'm walking on sunshine. And it kind of feels good. That's what I would have been singing in my head. Because I'm that sick and twisted. This movie doesn't do that. So many perfect opportunities. Hell, America the Beautiful, which they play in the trailer so many fucking times, would have been great with this movie. It would have been perfect for this movie. But it doesn't do it. It doesn't do it at all. They don't take any advantage whatsoever with this idea. They set up the idea, they set up the predictable plot points, and then they gave you a home invasion movie. That's it. The end. Purge is over. Come back next year. That's it. Although, I'll say this, there was a bit of a tease set up for the second one. I don't know the entire plot, but it looks like Frank Grillo lost his son in the last Purge. That movie takes place a year later, and there was a phone call basically saying about this guy having lost faith in humanity. He's done with the Purge, and I think he mentioned his son was murdered. And I swear it sounded like Frank Grillo. I want to say it sounded like Frank Grillo, but I could be wrong. I don't know what else to say about this movie. Oh, well, the group was generic. The young Purge group was very generic. Although they seem to really like purging a lot. Like, it's like, we need the purge. We need the purge. I'm thinking, is that the only way you can get off? Like you can't ejaculate unless you purge somebody? Jesus Christ, that's got to be the worst case of fucking blue balls you must ever have in your life. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's probably gonna hurt. That's gotta hurt. Like, he can't ejaculate except once a year. That's gotta burn. That really does. Blue balls is not a pleasant experience, people. It isn't. Oh my god. I was gonna give this movie a 5 out of 10 because I still like the idea. It was an idea that could have been, that had possibilities, but I can't. I just can't. I give The Purge a 4 out of 10. I'm hoping the sequel will be better. It looks better. It looks like, and it's directed by the same guy. And so I hope he learned from the mistakes of the first one and actually takes advantage of this idea, because it is an interesting idea that is ripe with possibilities. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this online, and then I'm probably gonna watch some Evil Dead special features, then watch a good movie, and then later tonight I'll go see Purge Anarchy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.